Good morning, everyone out there in YouTube land. How are you? Hope you're well. It's Stu here from 3B, of course, and today I'm going to talk about whether home Atmos, the super fancy speakery type sound, what's it? See, I know all the tech, nerdy stuff, is worth it. What do you think? Do you have Atmos? Do you like it? Do you think it's awesome? Or do you think it's a waste of time? Let's have a look. Okay, I'm a big nerd, and there's lots of people on the other side of their screens going, yeah, you asked you. And I like tech, and I'm also an audiophile, which means I'm very passionate about sound. Part of that being a musician, part of that being I studied music, part of that I also studied studio sound production and studio production at Berklee College of Music too. So I'm pretty knowledgeable. I know a thing or two about sound. And to that end, it makes me very passionate about making sure that the quality of sound that I have in terms of the movies and the music that I listen to is of a fairly decent quality within the budget constraints that we all face. But the thing is Atmos really worth it? You know, we're kind of sold the dream of having, sound being placed specifically for us. Here it is, there. And that's kind of how, when 5.1 first came out, and I remember when that came out, all back in the day, in the old days. And that's kind of how they promoted that. They were like saying, yeah, it's coming from all over the place. And it's like, yeah, it's not, it's just kind of coming from around. And with Atmos, they're kind of using a very similar marketing approach, that sound is being placed. And there is quite a difference, I think, in terms of just standard 5.1 and then 5.1.2 or 5.1.4. It does add an element. You get more of a wall of sound. I wouldn't necessarily say it surrounds you. Not unless you sort of have, there's a new thing called 3D Aurora, something like that. Anyway, can't remember what it's called. But they actually have a speaker set above your head. And the Denon AVR 4400 I have is actually capable of that. I'm not too sure if it's capable of putting a speaker above my head though, but it does actually have that processing. And that's the key difference between that and say Atmos. And I would imagine that would be a better, it would give you that little bit of extra height above you in terms of sound. But again, it's the whole point of diminishing returns because movies are only mixed in 5.1 or 7.1 at most. So my question is it really worth it? Do you have an Atmos system? Do you feel that in terms of the availability of Atmos content, both streaming and in terms of bloody expensive 4K Blu-rays, they're still expensive, far too much. They need to come straight down. For me personally, my personal opinion on this is I think if you're coming into this expecting to be wowed by Atmos and you've already got a 5.1 setup or a 7.1 setup, you're going to be like, that's all right. That's okay. You're not going to be blown away. You're just going to be like, If you've never heard a 5.1 system in the home and you're starting to put together a system from scratch, then I would recommend putting in either 5.1.2 or 5.1.4. Then you would really notice it, because then it's like, wow, Jesus, I never heard this before. It's all around me and everywhere. Then I would recommend that. But otherwise, unless you're in the market for a new AVR amp and considering that you can pick up some, sort of DALI, what I've got, Atmos speakers, and they're not that expensive. And they do the job, they're okay. You see one behind me, in fact. Then I would probably recommend it, But again, it's kind of diminishing returns. I actually speak about You know, the differences in another video about 5.1.4, 5.1.2, 7.1, 11.1, 9.1. Too many numbers. But I really want to understand whether you feel that, you know, Atmos is where it needs to be right now. Do you feel it's worth it? Are you holding out? Are you going to wait for more Atmos nonsense to sort of move into the sort of public domain a bit more? Because to be fair, Atmos movies are still pretty thin on the ground. There's some on Netflix. Still not so many of the Blu-rays, 4K Blu-rays have Atmos. And actually, it's not just 4K Blu-rays, I hasten to add. Standard Blu-rays can have Atmos too. So, are you upgrading? Are you thinking of getting Atmos? Let me know your thoughts. It's always good to know what you think. Be polite, be nice, be kind, say hi. Don't forget to click the bell. Don't forget to subscribe. I know I've been away for a while. I've been working on a contract for like 5 months or whatever. But I now have time to sort of share with you guys and do some reviews and what have you. So look out for those. Don't forget to click the bell to be alerted when I do a new video. Have a good day. See you soon. Take care and all that.